Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for finding my channel and for tuning into this broadcast. I want to share with you today some thoughts on living your life by design and not by default. And what I want to talk to you about is programming yourself for success. I'm honored to share this important topic with you because I believe that it's been around in circles of conversation for a very long time, and it seems pushed aside, overlooked, and almost avoided because it forces people to address their comfort zone. And let me explain why this has the ability to have come back to be of utmost importance to us right now. And before I begin, I want you to take a look at your life, take a look at your dreams, take a look at your goals and your achievements thus far. And I want to ask how many of us have had that life-changing experience, meaning in a point in time where things were never the same anymore. And I want to let you know that at a time in my life where I built one of my companies to be very successful, I was devastated by a just-in-time health diagnosis, and it was going to mean that I was going to need the heart of a lion. I was going to need the tenacity of some sort of a life ninja for survival skills. And I was going to need to spread joy and love and laughter. They always tell you that, laughter is the best medicine. And I was going to need some medicine. My situation was dire. I had a very bad diagnosis. And, like I like to say, that the doctors give you the diagnosis, but God will give you the prognosis. And in the end, I was like George Bernard Shaw, who didn't agree with the fact of circumstances. He said that people are always blaming their circumstances for what they are. And I don't believe in circumstances. He said that the people that get on in this world are the people that look around for the situations and circumstances that they want. And if they don't find them, they create them. Ladies and gentlemen, I was going to create. I was going to make it up to myself to get through this. And I had a lot of help from family and friends, but I really had some stubborn philosophies because I wasn't going to accept no for an answer. And that was the beginning of my mind sight. And it's so much more important to have mind sight than it is eyesight, because your eyesight, what you see on the surface, it could be poor. But as long as you have a mind that is sure, your outcome is going to guarantee your success. And beyond all of my treatments and challenges and obstacles that I had, roadblocks that I had overcome and had to face, I was feeling the storms of my life that were crushing down, and they were pummeling me at that time. All the associated issues with going through something like this. But through all of that, I found my own life-changing moment. And you see, imagine, if you will, you're in a cancer support group meeting, and you walk into a room and it's dull. It's just the furniture is drab. There's a gray color feel to the room, and you can even see the dust in the air that's suspended through the angular rays of sunlight that are coming in from the windows. It's very calm and still and sad and somber in that room. And in the circle of chairs, there's an older veteran who was recently diagnosed, and he's alone in his life. He has no family, he has no friends, no one to share in his pain. And he's not just down, he's depressed. He is stressed out, and he's anxious about his future. He had a very poor prognosis, and clearly he was struggling through and with everything. Well, in walks a man to the meeting, and here's a man who forgets about the failures of his past and forgets about the current diagnosis of his own, and begins to change the conversation into the possibilities of the future. And this is a man who puts away his own reasons for quitting and empowers the old man with ideas of optimism and a shared sense of purpose and a sense in the search for meaning, the healing and the influential powers and strength of his potential, and most of all, the importance and the power of a positive thinking. The moment clearly had an effect on the old man. He sits up in his chair, he rolls his shoulders back, and he begins to open up his chest. He starts radiating a new level of energy that wasn't seen prior. And he begins to pick his chin up. He was staring at the floor, and his eyes met the room with a brand new light of hope and healing. And clearly the man was speaking louder, more confident. He decided to talk about things in a positive way of what he would do now that he's past a moment that was holding him back. Clearly it had an effect on him, and it also had an effect on the man that walked in the room. And I say this from experience because I was that man. I was the man who walked into that room and spread my joy and love and energy and passion for optimism and for motivation and success by using a mental picture of a better outcome to begin the process of healing. And it healed me. It gave me a sense of relief and a sense of reward that I'd never felt before. I was excited about it. It felt natural to use a sense of purpose that was already part of my being to live out my potential, my seed of greatness that I had within me. And ladies and gentlemen, everybody has a seed of greatness. Anybody listening to my voice, anybody looking at this video and watching this content, you should feel fully confident that you have a seed of greatness, a greatness and a power that's within you already that can change not only yourself, not only your circumstances, not only the circumstances and the situations of the people around you, but it can have lasting effects on your household, your income, your business, your relationships, your career, your job, your associates, your coworkers, your community, your church, your organization, your associations, your city, your town, your country, even the world. And people, yet it's tragic. They live with this hidden tragedy within them because they don't exploit that side of themselves that is yearning to show the world what they have, because it is a great thing, and they're scared to overcome some challenges. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you, you can get past those challenges. You too can be a force to be reckoned with in any one of those arenas of your life. And it wasn't until that diagnosis of some life-threatening illness that I had that changed me. It wasn't that changed me. It was living out my purpose. And you see, it's my purpose here to deliver messages of encouragement, motivation, and strength, and also by using the power of my voice to help others so that they can find their strength in their lives. We only have a certain amount of time to do this, and it should create a sense of urgency that would allow you and promote you to push you and nudge you in the direction of fulfilling your purpose. And so that revealed my purpose in life, and that was my moment. And that sense of relief, it came from living my making and not just making a living. You see, there's a clear difference between just being a part of something and something being a part of you. So tune into what you have and let that wave of emotion and passion take you to your next highest level, because it'll be the next best version of yourself, and it will be an evolution of who you will become. So we all have the seeds of greatness that are endowed to us by our Creator, and very few find it. I've already made that point, but I believe we're destined for something great in this world, each one of us, and we already have that within each one of us. So here is the simplest equation for greatness. You plus nothing equals greatness. And to put it in a more revised sense, to give a higher purpose and power to your Creator, you plus God plus nothing equals greatness. Because see, we are made in the image of man. A man was made in the image of God. And it says so right in my favorite book in Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. We have all that we need from him already. We are made in his image. And the writer Mark Twain said that the two most important days of your life are the day that you're born and the day you find out why. Have you found out the reason for your life? Are you spinning your wheels, going in motion, staying busy, doing the things that don't matter? It's time you take a different perspective and start counting the things that you're doing that matter. Do the things that count instead of just staying busy counting the things that you're doing. Another way, an angle of perspective upon this topic is from Dr. Howard Thurman, who was a mentor to the Dr. Martin Luther King. And he said, don't ask for the reason of life. He said, ask for the reason of your life. What is the purpose of your life? Why are you here? You can be like the conductor on a train anywhere in the world that comes around to punch your ticket of life and asks, who are you? Where have you been? Where are you going? And until you know these three answers, your life will always feel like it's spinning your wheels in a jar of mud. I don't know how to put it, but an analogy would be that you're stuck in mud, like some sort of a car that's not meant to go through that path. And I focus my life on motivating people, and I hope that this broadcast motivates you to take action and find and live your purpose. And some things are caught, but other things in life are taught. I'm here to teach you how you can rise above your mediocrity, how you can elevate your standards and why that's necessary. How do you visualize the best version of yourself and then take action? Take action and start living up to your highest potential, and then channel your efforts and focus your life into a purpose and fulfill that potential to the highest regard. Everybody in the world is waiting to see what you have, and no one is stopping you but you. And it's been said that it's not who we are that holds us back, it's who we think we are not. And it's true. It's absolutely true. Your own worst bottleneck is yourself. You see, some people just want to wander through life, and it's easier to just be yourself than to wander through life and wonder what will be. Write this down. Be done with attempting to be. And just be. Just be. Because that's what you were born to do. That's what your greatness is just being you. A lot of other people are taken. Everybody else is taken. But you're not taken if you live your life for what it was designed for. So I'm here to tell you that the odds that have already been calculated by scientists and mathematicians, they outnumber the actual thought to have known existed atoms in the entire universe. These nerds got together and figured out how many atoms exist in everything in the universe. And the chances of you being you is bigger than that number. Don't tell me you're not special. Don't tell yourself you're not special. You have the ability to rise among the greats and live a legacy and live a life that will outlive you. It is our duty to live full and die empty. Leave it all on the table. Don't leave anything left inside of you when you die, because your moment of greatness is now, and there's not much more time for you to propel that limelight, that sense of wonder, that glorious greatness that is within you. And William James, who was the founder of modern psychology, said, if you want to make a change, make it immediately and flamboyantly. That means do it now, do it now, do it now. Decide to make a decision. And if you don't decide, that is a decision. And as you might as well make up your mind to do the things that serve your life in the better capacity, because you're worth it. We're all worth it. Life isn't found in the isms and schisms of life, because it's time to quit the paralysis of analysis. Some people will stand at the harbors of life knowing full well that their ship will never set sail. And it's a tragedy, because you have a destination, you have a mission, you have a purpose in your life. And I'm here to tell you, if you tune in, you will find your greatness start to evolve, and it will benefit other people, which will benefit you. It's a self-fulfilling cycle. Now, when you have a passion and you have a purpose and you have a potential, they all mix together. It's all the same thing. You focus your purpose to align with your potential, and it is your purpose and your potential that is defining of your passion. My favorite book says, wherever your heart is, there shall your treasure be also. Whatever it is that you have in your mind, in your mind's heart here, to let you know and constantly think about, the dreams in life should be things that keep you awake. They're not the things that happen to you when you're sleeping. If you ever found yourself up doing a project in the middle of the night and you're up until 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, doing whatever it is, that's constructive because it feeds your passion, that's the real you. That's the thing that you're dying to do. That's the thing you got to make time for. And that's the thing that everybody deserves to know about you. Your positive perceptions are what are going to compel you into action and what are going to propel you into your future of greatness. You see, I like the movie Pirates of the Caribbean. And Captain Jack Sparrow is famous for saying, the problem is not the problem. Your attitude about the problem is your problem. There's no things that we can't solve together, but there's very few problems that we can solve on our own. In order to accomplish your dreams, you're going to need a team. You're going to need a super team. You're going to need to be surrounded by only quality people, OQP, as Jim Rome says. And that means you have to let those who are going to meet you at your level come up to your level. And if they can't rise to your level, they're not meant to be there. You will find out really quick that you're going to meet some challenges in your life. You're going to meet some obstacles because it is a proven fact that all dreams will be tested for authenticity. You say, I'm going to do this because it's my dream. I've always wanted to do this. Guess what? Here comes the challenges. And they're going to make you prove that you're serious. And if you're serious in the way and the direction of following your purpose, you will be tested. But you cannot have a testimony without going through some test. In order to be slung out of a bow, an arrow has to be drawn back before it can slingshot to its greatness and hit its target. That's how you have to consider the challenges that are going through and going on in your life. You see, if you do the things in life that are easy, your life will be hard. But if you do the things in life that are hard, your life is going to be easy. You got to choose your hard. The most beneficial mathematics you can do is finding out the value of what it means in the future to decide to do the decisions today. They last into the future. Your decisions, your actions right now are having an effect down the line. And no action now means a heavier price to pay later. I learn. I never fail. I failed 1,000,000 times. I love it. That means I learn. I learn and get better. I either win or I learn. I don't fail. I'm a man of many, many, many losses because there's all kinds of losses. There's losses in life, loss of your business, loss of a loved one, loss of income, loss of a job, loss. They go on and on and on. But for all of recorded history, the levels of achievement are always the same. Opportunity is always mixed with difficulty. Sunshine always comes after nighttime. And you can win, but not before you know how to lose and suffer defeat. Springtime always comes after winter. And so all of recorded history, thousands of years, that storyline, it's always been the same. So you got to learn to take advantage of your sunshine, your winning, your daytime, in your springtimes. Put that away, because in the prosperous times, we put it in our wallet. And in the lean times, you put it in your heart. And that's where some of you may find yourselves right now. And did you know that the word for heart in French, it's coeur, and that is the root of the word courage. When people say you have courage, they're really building out the word heart. So if you need courage, you got to dig into your heart, that's where your passion is. That's where your potential lies, and that's where your purpose is born. And that's where it's always been. That's where you have to let it come from. Horace Mann once said that we should be ashamed to die until we've won some major victory for humanity. And if any man sees greatness, let him forget the greatness and ask for the truth, because he will find both. You are that victory for all of humanity. And once you apply your potential, trust me, it will feel natural, all natural, to align your life with your passion, and it'll propel you and your potential into your full greatness. That's the real you. A reliable indicator, okay, is moving in the direction of your dreams and then meeting those obstacles, rising above those challenges, learning from your mistakes, applying your knowledge, living up to your highest potential, and then fulfilling your purpose by giving focus to your potential. It took me a long time to be able to say that paragraph, but they all evolve from making a change, knowing where you are now and envisioning where you want to go. It takes a lot of self-development. Here's another thing. Write this down. You must work on yourself continuously. Continuously, every day. You're never done. You have to do what you can with what you have from where you're at and never be satisfied. Never be satisfied with where you're at or how far you've come. It's like the lady that said, I ain't what I'm going to be. I ain't what I used to be. I ain't what I'm going to be. But thank God I ain't what I used to be. And you got to be prepared to do what it takes. Thomas Edison, when he was inventing the light bulb, he said, I didn't fail at inventing the light bulb. He said, I just successfully found 10,000 ways that won't work. How many ways are you willing to go through before you find your way that works? If you're trying to invent the light bulb, it takes 10,000 times. Some people give up on their opportunities and their challenges when they're so close to their goals. Don't give up. Be like Winston Churchill said. Write this down. 5 words. Never, 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 never give up. Those words had inspired a whole generation of troops ready to fight and go in and storm the beaches of Normandy out during D-Day. Dig deep. Never give up. Challenge yourself. Challenge yourself to make a change. If you're uncomfortable with where you're at, get a little more uncomfortable, recognizing that you're going to have to go through some stuff. You're going to have to take some hits. You're going to have to perform some miracles and draw on some people for inspiration. And it's going to be hard. But where can we retreat to know that we can get there? That we can get there from here. You have to start from a place of knowing that it's possible. And from when you tell yourself that it's possible, you must admit that it's necessary. And it will be hard. And it has to be you that goes through that challenge. And once you begin to understand that, you're going to find out in the end, it was worth it. And when you say that it was worth it, it's because you're done. You're done with that challenge. You did it already. You finished. You finished and crossed the finish line with your goal. And that's how people have to set these goals and take massive actions in all the areas of their lives. Life has all its challenges, in all of their glory and all of their defeat. The question becomes, what are you going to do with that pain? Are you going to let that pain you? Or are you going to let that pain promote you and fulfill you? So you have to do something with the pain. There's going to be pain either way. You must harness that pain. Live those 5 tenets. Rise above that mediocrity. Elevate your standards. Visualize the best versions of yourselves. Take action. Live your highest potential. Do it, do it, do it, do it now. And then give purpose for your potential and focus on it. Focus on it like there's nothing else in the world that matters more. I'm reminded of a boy from upstate New York who, his name is Jason McElwain, and J-Mac, as he was referred to as his friends. And I tell this story because, again, it's not who you think you are that holds you back. It's what you think you're not. If you're telling yourself, I can't do it, because if you have a because statement in your life, if you hold up the stop sign and it says because, I can't do because, I can't do this because, it's not what you are that holds you back. It is what you think that you are not. I'm telling you, you're already a success. You have to admit it. You can do what it is. Henry Ford said, whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, you're right. Wouldn't you want to err on the side of getting something done? Tell yourself you can. Your subconscious is always listening. Write that down. Your subconscious is always listening, and it doesn't care. It doesn't care if you're a success or a massive flop. It doesn't care. It only believes the story that you tell it. And that's a beautiful thing because you can lie to your subconscious. You can lie to your subconscious and tell yourself, I'm a billionaire, I'm a millionaire, I'm a massive success. I'm going to write this book and it's going to sell 2 million copies. I'm going to write this album and sell this music and have a #1 hit. I'm going to write this book and I'm going to buy a new home. I'm going to buy the neighborhood. I'm going to develop a plan. I'm going to lead this nonprofit. I'm going to successfully take over this merger and this acquisition. I'm going to achieve new levels. For the first time, I'm going to make 6 figures in a year. I made 6 figures in a year. That wasn't hard. And when I did it, it was done. What I found that it was harder to convince myself that it was easy, that it was possible. Once I did it, I didn't just stop there. I doubled it in the same year. And then I tripled it. From going from a point where I was making an hourly wage to then making 6 figures and then making twice the 6 figures and then tripling up on my efforts, something has to take place up here, guys. I'm pointing to my head. I'm pointing to my mind. I'm having the vision inside of my skull of where it needs to be, and that's what you have to do. Don't let anybody tell you you can and you're not worth it. And as I roll into the story about J-Mac, all right, this is a boy from upstate New York. At the age of 2 years old, J-Mac, was diagnosed with autism. Standing at only 5'6". He was short. And he tried out for the junior high school basketball team. You see, Jason was ridiculed by most people in his school and friends, and he had a challenging life. But he didn't make the cut, and he didn't let whoever society told him the things, the societal norms that held him back, tried to hold him back. He put that aside. Let me tell you what happened. He tried out, but he didn't make the team. The coach saw something in J-Mac. He saw his passion. He saw his dedication and his devotion to the team. So he brought him on as the team's manager. And he faithfully performed these duties all the way through junior high school, all the way through high school, all of those years. And at the end of the high school, he had given the basketballs to all the other players for every practice, every game. He made sure that the water jugs were filled and iced and towels and everything was ready and set for the team. He served in a capacity for a vision that was greater than himself. He led by being a servant leader. He even went so far as to mop the sweat from the courts from the other players who were actually on the team. Now, this level of dedication and devotion could have been performed by anybody, but he took it upon himself to lead by example and provide a high level of service and passion to his duties. It served him well, because what happened at the end of the season and on the very last game, the coach gave Jason a uniform to the team, and he said, Jason, I want you to feel what it's like to be on the team. And he had him have a seat on the bench. But at that moment in time, with only 4 minutes left in the game, nobody could have imagined the events that unfolded next. With only a few minutes left in the game, the coach turned to J-Mac and he said, Jason, I want you in the game. This is it. This is your moment. This is your moment. Get in the game. And nobody could have predicted that J-Mac, at 5'6", the team's manager for more than his high school years, an autistic boy, awkward boy, started shooting and making 3-pointers. He made the first 3-pointer, the second 3-pointer. He made another 3-pointer. And with each successive 3-point shot, the crowd grew wild and wilder and wilder with emotion. They could not contain the fact and the reality of what was going on. They knew his work ethic. They knew his passion. They knew his dedication and his devotion. But they never saw how it could pay off. They never could have imagined the power of somebody fulfilling their potential and using their moment. You see, they won the game. J-Mac scored 6 3-pointers in all. He scored 20 points. He was the game's high scorer, and he was led out of the gym on the shoulders of his teammates who were yelling, MVP, MVP. Can you imagine what that must have felt like in the mind of that individual? That was his moment. Now, here's a boy who was raised in utter obscurity. Nobody knew his name. No one. He could have left the life and disappeared from the planet and nobody would have known. But because he took his moment, his life, and he propelled that moment into the national and international spotlight, his video has been viewed millions of times on YouTube. And he continues to inspire people all over the world, even to this day. You see, all of us were born for greatness, but only some of us will admit it. And it's better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than to be faced with an opportunity and not be prepared. You got to develop your gifts. You got to develop your talent, your skills. You have to use this time, this coronavirus negative pandemic, unassuring, anxious, and stressed out time. It's a perfect opportunity. It's the perfect storm of windows of change for the shining tenets of opportunity to come into your life and prove to you, you should have been doing this all along. We are waiting for you. And it's precious about how many times we don't realize that life is a gift and we don't have the time. Our life is precious and our time is limited. Therefore, our actions are important. And it's like that rapper Eminem who said, you only get one chance, one shot. Don't miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. Now is your once in a lifetime. Now is everybody's time for action. And I urge you, I propel you and command the power of my voice over you to instill some motivation into your gut, into your soul, and bring it forth into your muscles to move you around into the greater version of yourself. You see, your personal odds are greater than anything that matters. Your personal level of achievement is way more than you give yourself credit for. The chances of you becoming you, let's just take into account that you've already beat 400 million sperms to be here. You're already won to the tune of beating millions already. So think about that. But your actual odds have been calculated by nerds in the universe. And they have understood, and I say nerds lightly, okay? I'm a nerd too. I'm not taking offense or giving offense and dishing out any bad vibes or bad labels on people because that's my topic. Even though people may have labels on you, remember, people's opinions of you shouldn't become the reality of you. Actually, everybody else's opinions of you is none of your business, none of your spiritual business. Motivational speaker Chris Dunham, he explains it like this. First, dentistry was painless, and then bicycles were chainless, and carriages were horseless, and many laws were enforceless. Soon, cookery was fireless, and telemetry became wireless, and coffee was caffeineless, and cigars were nicotineless, and then the seeds, the oranges, were seedless. The putting green became weedless, and the college grad was hatless, and the proper diet was fatless. Now our motorways are dustless, and our new steel is rustless. Our tennis courts are sodless, and our new religion is godless. Man has become his own God. You see, in the Western way of thinking, we buy things that we can't afford with money that we do not have in order to impress the people that we don't even like. And we're trying to become something that we're not, and something that we don't even recognize. We're a content-rich world dwindling fast toward not having much intent at all. And we as a culture, we've filled our heads, but not our hearts. And we've stuffed our wallets, but we've starved our sense of wonder and meaning. And we've increased our thirst for facts, but not our hunger for mystery and meaning and significance. You know, in short, we create nice people, but we don't make any heroes anymore. You're the hero of your adventure. You're the director of your script. You are writing a new script. You don't like what the movie is on your life right now? Change the script. Take that pen back from whoever's holding you back and start writing your own future the way that it deserves. Pan it out. Make it a bestseller. Make it the best movie that you deserve to be the hero in. On your day of productivity, I want you to tell yourself that you refuse to participate in the process of victimization. That doesn't do any good. Do the things that are good for you. And it will be in turn because you will have thought to done things for other people that are good for them. And if it's raining, you can't fix the roof. And if it isn't raining, the roof doesn't need to be fixed, right? You see, Dr. Miles Monroe, who was a Bohemian evangelist, and he once explained it like this, that the richest places in the world, they're not the diamond mines of South Africa. They are not the tech-ridden companies of Silicon Valley. And they're not the oil fields of the Middle East. No, those are not the richest places in the world. The richest places in the world are found in the graveyards. And that's where important books were never written. That's where great ideas were never shared, and awesome stories were never told, and amazing experiences were never built on, and future dreams were never acted on. Incredible inventions were never patented and brought forth to the rest of benefiting all of us here in humanity, in the human experience. I want you to write down your goals. Take a look at your life. Take a look at your dreams. Take a look at your achievements from where you're at right now. And I want you to write your goals down. I want you to recite them to yourself because there's power in the voice. That's what my favorite book says. Death and life is in the tongue. Get busy trying to be better. But take it a step further. There is no try. There is or there is not. Do it or you're not doing it. Your life deserves it. And I'm here to tell you that the rest of us are wanting to understand why and what you exist for so that we can benefit. This is a mutual benefit situation. You have to surround this experience of life with supportive, collaborative relationships that feed your growth. Feed your growth and never be satisfied and always focus on making yourself better. Consider the life of Pablo Casals. Pablo Casals was a cellist maestro in Catalonia, Spain. He said that I feel that the capacity to care is the thing which gives life its deepest significance. The love of one's country is a splendid thing, but why should love stop at the border? Music is the divine way to tell beautiful, poetic things to the heart. Music will save the world, and you must work. We all must work. And so that we can make the world worthy for our children. The most perfected technique, he said that it's not even noticed at all. And the art of interpretation is not to play what is written. Man has made many machines, complex and cunning, but which of them is indeed rivals of the workings of his heart? Every wrong seems possible today, and it is accepted. Pablo Casals says, I don't accept it. When he was in his 90s, he was asked, Pablo, why do you still practice? And he said, I think I'm making progress. You have to be at that age to know that you're not finished. You're not done. However old you are, you're never too old to learn, and you're never too young to teach. You see, this life is full of challenges and obstacles, and I'm telling you, you have it in it. You have it in you to come back. You got comeback power. This life owes you nothing. So who else is going to work on your goals? Who else is going to work on your dream? Who else is going to act on your invention, write your book, promote your gift, and perform your talent? And if you don't act on your purpose and potential on your behalf, I guarantee you somebody else will for theirs. Time's running out, my friends. It's time to decide. You see, once you grasp that importance of self-development, you will begin to notice changes in your surroundings, your circle of friends, your acquaintances, your business partners, and all of your mentors. If you don't have a mentor, seek a mentor. Seek someone who will support and bring out the best in you. and echo the words that were said by a man that were echoed by a man, and his name was Girder. He said, look at a man for what he is, and he only gets worse. But look at a man for what he could be, and he becomes what he should be. You need to find somebody that will invest in you, somebody that will invest in seeing the real you and convincing you to get back to that point, get back to that person, get back and find and live and promote and exalt that greatness that is within you, that's in all of us. How many times of us are we willing to quit when we're so close to reaching our goals? Consider a man who was a successful person in the insurance industry. True story. He went out west during the gold rush, and he bought all this mining equipment, and he started looking for gold, started setting up all this equipment, expensive, fancy machinery, and he started drilling, and he had some success, found a little bit of gold, started to rejoice, and then kept drilling, and then, as if it all dried up and went away, he met the challenge that it's gone. It must be gone. I don't know what happened. So he got frustrated. He sold all of his equipment to a blacksmith who didn't know anything about mining, didn't know anything about the industry, but he thought that there was some value, and he bought all the machinery for pennies on the dollar. And then when he continued, he sought counsel from a geologist and a cartologist, and these people, these surrounding collaborative relationship type people, informed him, you know what? This is the structure of the geology of the mountain. This is how veins work in the mountain. Continue doing what you're doing. Press on. And so he did. So the man went back to selling insurance, and ironically, he was successful doing that. So those people just find success anyway because they don't give up. He wasn't a quitter. But the man who bought the equipment and was a blacksmith knew nothing about what he was doing, took the advice of his peers and his mentor, and he kept drilling. Within the first 3 feet of the same location, drilling on, the man struck a gigantic vein of gold in the mountain. And that was his gold. He didn't give up. The other man was 3 feet from his gold, and he gave up. How many of us give up when we're only 3 feet from our gold? Remember, you got to learn to dig your wells with the people that matter and serve their needs in order to fulfill your own. You got to be willing to volunteer, and whatever you do to volunteer is sent forth to the universe. It's your tithe and offering to your better future. It's multiplied and expanded and reversed, pressed down and given back and returned to you. It's the universal law of attraction, which states when you help others get what they want in life, you won't have to worry about getting what you want out of your life. What is it that you want? How far have you come? How much further are you willing to go? How much time are you willing to spend on yourself to believe that all things are possible? You have to say yes to the least of humanity by picking those up that are most deserving in the eyes of a loving God, and you will have participated in the greatest good of all. And that was said by Mother Teresa, who was right. When you serve others, it serves you. When you try to get promoted, you don't get promoted. Try promoting your workspace to the benefit of the end being the reason why the current is in effect. In other words, live your workspace like that's the job interview for a promotion, and you will have earned the reputation to advance. You see, I want to talk about dreams and your destiny. And briefly, I want to say that, and I want to challenge your thinking. I want to bring this level of awareness about. And I want to ask you, where does destiny come from? Where is it set in stone? Do people have the ability to change their destiny for the better? When we talk about our lives being programmed, it's either by default or it's by design. One is inactive, the other one is definitely active. So you want to be purposeful in your actions. You want to not live under the auspices of default like most people do. You got to rise up. You have to be better, because if you knew better, you would do better. It's time you knew the truth. It's time you knew better. And it's time that you're going to start doing better. You see, those who are destined for greatness, they're living their lives by design, on purpose, with a mission. They know it. They feel it. They live it. It's not what they do for a living. It's just who they are. And that's how they keep continuing to have success. All people are capable of designing their surrounding environments. You remember the circumstances in George Bernard Shaw? People are always blaming their circumstances. Circumstances don't exist, just the perceptions of thereof. And how their people's bodies, their self, their spirituality, their nature, their physical surroundings, their financial network, and their network themselves, and even their relationships. How do they change these things? Well, by their body, they work out. By their self, they grow in their self-development and they achieve new levels of mastery with themselves. And there's an old African proverb that says, if there's no enemy within, the enemy outside can do us no harm. You must know thyself. Get in tune with what it is that resonates with you, because everybody else is taken. Your dream won't fit into somebody else's idea for what your life purpose is. So recognize that will happen and tune it out. Tune out. That's noise to your purpose. Don't let that happen. Spirituality, they cultivate their spirit. The nature, they improve the grounds and the environment around them. Some people are tugged and drawn to the elements of creating a better earth for our future generations. And that's a noble cause. And what about their physical nature? Well, they can improve their physical conditions and their financial. They can make changes in their financial net worth. They can also improve their net worth by improving the people and the associations that they hang out with and their relationships. They're continually working on their relationships with other people. Communications is one of the best and brightest ideas toward advancing associations with other people to the benefit of both parties. So when you learn to communicate, when you learn to open your mouth, you are telling the world who you are. So carefully choose your words and think about what you say before you say it. Seek first to understand before speaking. Can someone else determine your destiny? Absolutely. But only if you let them. And that's the great thing about it. You can change your environment, you can influence your environment, or you can leave your environment. You simply add, subtract, or shift the environments around of your life. And the purpose of this is to allow you to admit to yourself that your dreams are possible. And they are the things that should be keeping you from sleeping, not the things that you do while you're asleep. You see, leaders are constantly challenging themselves, and they get comfortable with being uncomfortable, and they know how to take a calculated risk, a decisive action, and they do it in a time-sensitive manner. See, when timing is everything and opportunity is there, they pounce. They pounce like a tiger that's in the jungle ready to get its prey. And the opportunities that exist, they are there for bettering themselves, for bettering the opportunities for others. They are opportunities to help benefit their company, their coworkers, their economy, their community. They're out to change the world because they're taking advantages of those opportunities which present themselves, and those opportunities don't last very long. Because if you don't take opportunities for what they are and act, somebody else will. Now it's their opportunity. But your dream is specific to you. And to truly be rich, it means that you have found the ability to help elevate others' lives in your lifetime. If you want to be a leader, start with yourself, and others will rise to meet your challenge. You have to lead by example. You see, but I don't know about you. I want to lead a life of fulfillment and meaning. And I want to lead a life of significance and purpose, because it starts by saying that you want to do the things that matter instead of just doing the things to get by. You have to be all in with your purpose. Don't be busy counting the things that you're doing. Instead, get busy doing the things that count. What counts to you? Have you ever asked yourself that? Don't worry if others don't see your vision, because that vision isn't for them. That vision was written for you. It has your name on it. No one else can get your stuff. That's your stuff. No one else can come get your stuff. It doesn't fit them. It doesn't fit them. Believe me, success comes from belief. Okay? Belief does not come from success. Belief does not come from success. Success comes from belief. And belief comes from the relentless pursuit of your potential. It comes from a relentless cause of fulfilling your passion. And so the utmost importance of why this is important right now is because it's far better to take mighty things, to dare mighty things, and win glorious triumphs, even though checkered by failure, and then to take rank with those poor spirits who neither enjoy much nor suffer much because they live in the gray twilight that knows neither victory nor defeat. And that's a quote by Theodore Roosevelt. Don't be one of these poor spirits living in a gray twilight. You were meant for 100% high definition of color in your life so that it will make sense and it will promote your purpose. Your passion is your potential. Your potential is your purpose, and your purpose is your why. Your why for living. Nietzsche said, if you know your why in life, you can endure almost any how. So when you begin to follow your dreams, don't worry about how. That's none of your business. Know your why. Start with living your potential, and that'll get you to the next level. I'm Captain Rex Witkamp. It's been an honor to pour into your life today. Promise me that you will challenge yourself to work on the 5 tenets, rise above your mediocrity, elevate your standards, live the best version of yourself, visualizing the best purpose of your potential, and then giving purpose for your potential. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I want you to go forth with power and with conviction and confidence, knowing you have no fear because you have the ability to get what you deserve out of life. Thanks for your time and have a great day.